way that, you know, if you're in a state that's not legal, that you can defend yourself. And even if the state doesn't have a medical necessity defense, the fact that you've got a doctor giving you a letter, the fact that you've got a clergy giving you a letter, lends credence. Okay, and a police officer is going to think, wait a minute, a criminal wouldn't have these letters. You know, a patient would, but a criminal wouldn't. So that's, I think, is the best way in states that aren't legal. And again, I'm going to reiterate, in our state, you know, the whole topic is how do people get medicine in our state. This is what I'm saying, it's criminal. But what I'm also going to say, and I'm going to say it as much as I can, that right now, the best way to change the law in Florida is to go to your representatives and say, why are you against our veterans? Why are you against our veterans? If you were my representative, I'd say, why are you against my veterans? Why against veterans? And what are you going to say? You're going to say, I'm not against veterans. A politician can't be against veterans. And that's when you tell them, well, wait a minute. The Veterans Administration, you may not know this, but I'm going to educate you. The Veterans Administration, through my organization, Patients at a Time, has stated that if you're a veteran and you come and you're using opiates and you test positive in a state that allows medical cannabis, you test positive for metabolites of cannabis, that's fine. No problem. But if you're in a state such as Florida and you test positive in VA for cannabis, they withhold your opiates. Now here is somebody from, say, Afghanistan, that's in this state, they're going to withhold their opiates, but if they're in Colorado, his state, well, that's okay. So then Mr. Politician will ask you again, why are you against our veterans in this state? Until you pass a law and change the law, you're against our veterans. So I think that's a winnable. I mean, we've been arguing about the medical aspect, and we haven't won yet. And as I started this in the 70s, like I told people, if I knew the right way of doing it, I would have already done it. Okay, luckily they've done it in Colorado, they've done it in other states, I've helped them out, and we need to do it down here in Florida. So that's really what I want to say, and that, again, if you are using it, document, use it the right way, and be respectful and responsible about it. Therefore, if you do run across Johnny Law, you have a better chance of winning.
Thanks, sir. So we've now learned that Jeffrey got charged but got away with growing his own. And we know that Irv, we didn't really know. You've got a bag in your hand, and you said you get your medical marijuana from the federal government. But can you explain to everybody how you get it, how it comes, and where it comes from? And I mean, yeah.
I've been getting this medicine for starting my 30th year last week. And I receive a tin can of 300 cigarettes that's grown on the campus of the University of Mississippi in Oxford, Mississippi. The farm's been there since 1968. They then take the cannabis and they send it to Raleigh, North Carolina, the Raleigh Research Triangle. There it's freeze-dried and put into cigarette form by a cigarette machine, and they take 300 cigarettes and put it in a tin can. And that tin can is then frozen. And that's how I receive my medicine. Every 5 months, they ship into Baskin Palmer Eye Institute 6 tins, which is equivalent to 1,800 cigarettes. And I could pick up all 6 tins if I wanted to at that point. What I normally do is pick up 1 tin and let them hold the other 5, and then just go down there every 25 days and pick up a tin can. So that's the government farm's been there since 1968. It's the only legal farm in the United States that's allowed to grow and possess cannabis. Now, they will not, allow researchers to use this to try to find the benefits of it. It's a sad situation. I mean, the government says they need more research. To me, when they say do the word research, that means more prohibition, is the way I look at it. So I'm very fortunate that I receive my medicine this way. I'm very fortunate that I can stand up and talk about it. My job, I'm a stockbroker. I handle a lot of money on a daily basis, and my firm understands what I do and has no problem with it. All my clients know I use between 10 and 12 cannabis cigarettes a day with no euphoric effect, and have for 29 years. Now, legally, I'm allowed to possess this anywhere. I'm allowed to drive. My protocol, my scientific project, says that I'm allowed to operate dangerous machinery as long as I'm not intoxicated. Well, I get no high from this. My body just doesn't. So when and if I get pulled over, which happens, there's a lot of unmarked cops around here, and I'll be sitting at a stoplight smoking, and the next thing I know, I'm being pulled over. And so, I show them my prescription and other information, and they go, "We can't drive with this." And I go, "Yes, sir, I can." And I show them my protocol, and I go, "Am I intoxicated?" And not once has the cop ever said, "Yes, you are," which they've always said, "No, you're not." I go, "Well, that's why I can drive." So I don't profess people driving stoned. If you get stoned, don't drive. If you don't, then be careful. Don't get caught with it. So that's how I get my medicine. And again, there are only 4 of us in the country. The program I'm under was shut down in 1992 by George Bush Sr. We got it to where it worked for AIDS patients. And the protocol I'm under took years to put together. we got a protocol for AIDS patients that was fill in the blank. And we sent it to all the AIDS organizations, and they bombarded George Bush Sr. with thousands of protocols. He was running for re-election against Clinton and didn't want to look soft on drugs, or didn't want to substantiate the use of cannabis by giving it to thousands of patients. So somehow he arbitrarily got Health and Human Services to shut the program down. There were 13 of us that were receiving cannabis at the time. Another 28 patients that had been approved to receive cannabis but never had. And when George Bush Sr. shut the program down, the 28 patients never did get it. They were told they'd get Marinol. The 13 of us that were receiving cannabis were grandfathered in, so we didn't sue the government. Now, most of those patients were AIDS patients, and they didn't have the AIDS cocktails back in 92 and 93 that we do today, and so they died. And I'm afraid that's left of us today is only 4 of us. There's myself here in Florida. There's a woman in Oregon who used to live in Hollywood, Florida, Elvie Musica. Now, Elvie, in 1988, was busted for growing cannabis and went to court on a medical necessity defense. And the judge, Judge Marky Poland, after hearing the case, ruled a reverse insanity plea. Okay, what he stated was this, that knowing what she knew as she was losing her eyesight, and that the only thing that would save her eyesight is cannabis, that she would be insane not to use it. So it can work in this state. And then there are 2 other patients that live in Iowa. There's an MS patient, Barbara Douglas, who lives in Iowa, and then a patient named George McMahon, who gets a nail patella syndrome, which is a very devastating disorder. He's basically homebound also. He's lucky to still be alive. So that's why, it's kind of up to me to be the spokesperson. And when you have something devastating, a disorder, that sucks. And so you want to make something good come out of it. So that's why I decided, even once I received my cannabis in '82, that I was going to help others. And now I look around, and I've helped 1/3 of the country become legal under state law. And that leaves 2/3, including Florida. And so that's what we need to do, at least take care of my home state of Florida. Yeah.